Good morning. Happy Friday. Hi, Miss Sam. Sam said, morning, Kathy. I'm leading on my iPad today, so things look a little different for me. I'll adjust. I wonder if it's just going to be you and me. People are with family. Happy Friday, Thanksgiving edition. Yeah, take it. I didn't make it on yesterday. I don't know if Claudia was all alone reading or if some people showed up. I didn't even get a chance to hop on and check and see. My son and daughter-in-law are sleeping, as is their baby, and my 3-year-old grandson is downstairs with his papa. So Miss Simpson says, I'm happily at home. Yeah, me too. So I'm leading from my bedroom instead of the kitchen this morning because they're watching Spidey and Friends downstairs, and I thought that might be a little distracting. Miss Sim says there was a good group yesterday. Nice. I love that. Yeah, I was in the thick of it. We had a great day. So much food. And there's lots of food left over. So I see there's 4 people here now. This is a time when we do our check-ins. So if you have a word that expresses how you're checking in, mine would be grateful. So, oh, hi, Deb. You know what? I have a thing with, if I can tap that and see better. No, I can't. So I'm leading from my iPad, so your messages come up and then they fade away. So if I missed your message, there's Michelina, good morning, feeling relaxed and easy. If I missed reading your comment, it's because it disappeared before I saw it. So, and I can't refer back to the chat. The reason I'm doing is that I have something on my phone I want to read to you. So, leading from the iPad today. I don't think I finished my check-in. I was going to say, Pamela says checking in, heart fulfilled. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm feeling. I was going to say grateful, but that sounds so trite, right? The day after Thanksgiving, but heartful is good. Deb says checking in, salty sweet, and heart is full of something. Oh, just full. Amy says, good morning, thinking about my feeling, and it's irritable even though I don't want it to be that. Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? I'm warm. It has been warm in this house. Um, it was actually so warm here yesterday. Like, I was using, my neighbors are gone. They're in LA for Thanksgiving. And I texted and asked if I could use their fridge because my fridge was quickly filling up. And they were like, absolutely. So I was going back and forth between their house and my house. I actually ended up using their oven too. And every time I stepped outside, I was like, wow, it is really warm today. I never saw what the high was, but so I'm going to write my check-in down. Heart full, like dip. So you've reached our Mandala universes. I was going to say earlier, I couldn't figure out how to moderate the conversation, but so far we haven't had any comments that are that we don't want. So just moderators if something comes up. I feel like my camera's dirty. Let me clean that off. I feel like oh yeah, there we go. There I am. So yeah, if we need to moderate comments, please help me with that. All right, so this is our Mandala universes, and we gather daily at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And we draw circles together. So that's all a mandala is, just a circle. I can show you some examples from my current book. Sometimes they look exactly like this. Hi, Jimmy. Miss M says squeaky clean. Yeah, it had some fingerprints on it. So yeah, just a circle, and you can put anything you want in it. You can write words with it, or in it, or around it. Really is up to you what you want to fill your space with. And you could use any art medium that you have. I've done collage even in my mandala book. I've only done it a couple times, but that would be a fun challenge to do collage more often. So let's settle in with some grounding before we read. I can already feel, I like to use this time to check in with my body, so I'll invite you to do the same thing. Sometimes it just takes a little short movements to kind of check in and see what's feeling like what today. Like my lower back feels tight. That's probably from cooking all day yesterday. I have 3 sores on my hands and I can feel them. 2 are paper cuts and 1 is what I think is a burn. But I can kind of feel those. Yeah, my lower back's really talking to me. I had a headache when I woke up, but my coffee's been helping with that. So just notice. Just say, hi, body. Thank you for carrying me today. And I had about 4 different things that I wanted to read in the reading today, but I'm going to stick with one. This is from someone I just started following on Instagram named Tiffany.jmarie. And she just talked, but she talked about this writing, and I can't even tell you who the writing is by, but I really liked it. So I'm just going to read it to you. I'll invite you to close your eyes and listen. Hi, Cheryl. Cheryl says feeling conflicted and maybe a bit resentful. Thank you for that check-in. And again, your comments are fading away, so if I'm reading and you comment, I probably won't see it. So let me just read this to you. I saw my life branching out before me like a green fig tree. From the top of every branch, like a fat purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked. One fig, was a husband and a happy home and children, and another fig was a famous poet, and another fig was a brilliant professor, and another fig was E.G., the amazing editor, and another fig was Europe and Africa and South America, and another fig was Constantine and Socrates and Attila and a pack of other lovers with queer names and offbeat professions. And another fig was an Olympic lady crew champion. And beyond and above these figs were many more figs I couldn't quite make out. I saw myself sitting in the crotch of this fig tree, starving to death, just because I couldn't make up my mind which of the figs I would choose. I wanted each and every one of them, but choosing one meant losing all the rest. And I sat there, unable to decide, and the figs began to wrinkle and go black, and one by one they plopped to the ground at my feet. And what this person who put this on her Instagram account was talking about was just how we want to be and do all these things, right? Like, I would love to be a full-time artist. I would love to be a teacher. Always wanted to be a teacher. I would love to be a musician, full-time musician, right? There's all these things that we would love to be, and sometimes we get so caught up in, well, this is the life I have. I can't be that anymore. And the truth is we can be all of them. And we don't want to starve ourselves to death by not choosing any of them, or thinking that once we've chosen one, we're locked into that one. So instead of becoming a full-time chef, I can make an amazing Thanksgiving meal for my family, infused with love and some recipes that turn out better than others, and we can laugh together at that. Like, my stuffing yesterday was terrible, and that's totally okay. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't my best. Instead of, monetizing my art, I can, oh, Michelina, I love your comment. Bring a basket and pick more than one fig. Yeah. Instead of monetizing my art, I can make art just for the sake of making art. I just thought it was a great reading. So that's my grounding for you today. Is there a fig you've left unplucked from the tree because you think you have to master it before you can eat it? And I would challenge you and say you don't. It's very different to draw my mandala sitting on the floor. It's further away from me than I'm used to. So we had my son. Oh, I was gonna tell you, we had our son and daughter-in-law and our best friends here for Thanksgiving, and it was just delightful. But we have such good news. So my son, my oldest, is in the Air Force and recently retrained into a new job, and we have been waiting for months, since August, to find out where they were going to be stationed. And my grandson and my daughter-in-law both have some unique medical concerns, and so they were struggling to find a base that had adequate medical care within a certain distance. Because of their conditions, they're required to have certain kinds of providers within 100 miles. And they got one assignment and it did not, and so they canceled that assignment and have been going back and forth with all these potentials. And they could have been sent anywhere, literally, because my son's new job is They have that position at every single base in the world. And they found out last week that they are going to stay at Travis, which is just 3 hours away from us. And close enough that we can meet. Like when we met them at Apple Hill, it was just a day trip for all of us. Cheryl's saying, happy birthday. Miss M says, just pick a fig. Best to do some of the things than none. Yes. Yes, agreed. I know I'm missing comments because I'm not sure whose birthday. Well, I know it's, yesterday was Danny's birthday. Whose birthday is it today? Somebody say it again. It's hard because I have to watch the screen, which means I can't really read. I don't like reading on my iPad. McLeana, do you read on your iPad most of the time? I know you used to. Do you have the disappearing comments if you read on your iPad? I'm not liking it. Yeah, Danny's birthday. Okay. I remembered that. I was just talking to someone else who had the same birthday as my grandma. I can't remember. So my grandma's birthday was the 27th. And I know Danny's. And then there was just someone else that said theirs or a family member's birthday was on the 27th. And it always makes me think of my grandma, who would always tease that she never got a birthday cake because she always got pie instead. She didn't care, but she would pretend to care. Oh, I hear my son got up. I hear his voice. Nice to be able to let them sleep in a little bit. I don't get to do that very often. Anyway, so they will be staying a very short drive. Well, 3 hours feels like a very short drive when you're used to having to drive, 7 hours to see your kids or grandkids. And in Northern California, so we're very, very happy about that. Yeah, the only disadvantage to that is that they need a bigger house, and so they're going to request a larger house on base. But because they're not changing bases, they don't have orders, they will have to move themselves. And let me tell you, these kids of mine, my son and daughter-in-law, are collectors, consumers. They have a lot of stuff. They've never had to move themselves, so they don't know what that's like to have to pack up everything you own. They've always just had movers come in and do it for them. So I have a feeling I will be going over to help them with that, and hopefully I can talk them into getting rid of some things. I don't know how successful I will be with that, but we will try. My husband and I are the opposite. We love to get rid of stuff. So I'm not sure what's coming out of my mandala today. Guess I should watch the time. I have no idea what time it is. 8:20. Okay, we're good. Cheryl says maybe they'll have less after they back up and experience that. Yeah, It will be interesting to see. Yeah. Just letting the paint do what the paint wants to do. I hear my granddaughter waking up too. Okay, I think we're done. I think I'm done painting. Miss M says there's a time for collecting and a time for donating. Yeah, I don't think they've reached their time for donating yet. Although I have found that when I go over there, I usually tackle a pile. And my daughter-in-law in particular, there's pink paint on my mug. My daughter-in-law in particular is very good. If I hold things up for her and go, do you want to keep this or do you want to donate it? She's really good at making those decisions. She just doesn't have the gumption to start going through the pile herself. So, yeah, I think it all depends on how much time they will have to pack. If they're packing in a hurry, I don't think there's going to be much sorting. Usually with military housing, they give them a little bit more time, so we'll see. That story about the figs kind of made me think of The Midnight Library, if you haven't read that book by Matt Haig. It's a fascinating premise. Basically, instead of figs, it's books in a library, and every book is a different life you could have lived. It's such a well-written book. Really fun read. I can honestly say I don't think I would choose a different life. Pretty stinking happy with the one I've got. So now is often when we take time to maybe observe our art, listen to it. If you're still working on it, that's totally fine. But it can be a good time to see if there are words coming out of your creation that you want to express, that you want to write down. I always put them, if there are words, I always put them underneath my mandala. There's no right way to do it, but that's how I do it. And then sometimes we share them with each other. I think my words are it doesn't have to be either or. Or maybe my words are just both and. Miss M says, also collecting is easy. It's when you make decisions on what you have time and energy to do. Yeah. Yeah. They're nerd collectors. So they have, my son runs a D&D group. And so he has all these different D&D campaign books. I think he has more than he could ever possibly use. But he likes to collect them, and he has lots. I suppose I collect art supplies. They just don't take up, 8 different bookcases in my house. What's everyone doing today? I'm gonna try and get this group out of the house since it's such a sunny day. I'm gonna go do something, go somewhere. Tomorrow we're gonna go up to Reno and go to, if any of you have ever been to Reno and gone to the Junkie Clothing Exchange, it's like the most spectacular thrift / costume store I've ever seen. They do a lot of business right before Burning Man. People come and get their fabulous outfits. And my daughter-in-law loves costumes, so tomorrow we're gonna go up and go there. And they're doing a little community, like kids free art projects. And then we're gonna go to our friend's house and the kids can swim. Going to a yoga class that ends in a sound bath today with my son, then chilling. Nice, Pamela, that sounds great. Yeah, but today, I don't know. I wonder if I could talk him into going up to the lake. My son, once he gets here, doesn't want to put the kids back in the car. He's like, we're here. We're not going anywhere until we leave. So it takes a lot of work. Amy says heading to Sedona to bask in the glory of the red rocks. Oh, I am jealous of that. That would be one of my figs, Amy, is to do what you're doing. To live in a van or hook up my trailer and just hit the road. Nicolina says, Amy. Yeah, we can all share a little wistfulness for Amy's day. Yeah, Cheryl says, ooh, Amy. And Pamela says, Sedona. I've actually never been. Yeah, Amy says, I've picked a good ripe fig for now. And Nicolina says, yeah, van life is one of my figs too. Miss M says, sounds divine, Amy. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of my figs. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it. Okay, it's 8:29. So I will begin the process of saying goodbye and hope that you all have amazing days that fill your heart. Bring you peace. Know that you're loved. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great day.